நிஹத் சாஹிபா அவர்களுக்கு இப்பொழுது விருது வழங்கப்படுகிறது. இலக்கிய உலகில் இவரது கவிதைகளின் கருத்துக்களை பார்த்த ஆண் இலக்கியவாதிகள் நேரில் புகழ்ந்தாலும் முதுகுக்கு பின் இவருக்கு வேறு யாரோ எழுதி கொடுக்கிறார்கள் என பேசிக் கொண்டார்கள். விருதுகள் பெற்றபோது இவர் ஒரு பெண் என்பதால் விருதுகள் பெறுகிறார் என்று பேசினார்கள். இவற்றால் இவர் ஒரு காலகட்டத்தில் எழுதுவதையே நிறுத்திவிட்டார். 2013 ஒரு பெண் இசைக்குழு காஷ்மீரில் பயங்கர கொலை மிரட்டுகளை சந்தித்தது. அந்த இசைக்குழு கலைக்கப்பட்டது. அதனால் தன் எதிரிகளை வெற்றியடைய விடக் கூடாது எனும் சிந்தனையால் மீண்டும் எழுத வந்தார். பெண் பாடகர், பெண் நடனக்காரர் என்று அழைக்கப்படாத போது ஏன் பெண் கவிஞர் என்று அழைக்கப்பட வேண்டும் என்று இவர் கேட்கிறார்.
I am Nighat Sahiba, a Kashmiri poet. I published my first poetry collection in 2017, which got Yuva Puraskar of Sahitya Academy of that year. That's a brief introduction of me. Before I start, I want to apologize for I may fail to communicate with you because I'm from Kashmir, which is poles apart linguistically, culturally, and geographically from this area. We all may speak English, but our accents differ, and at times I actually struggle to understand Tamil English, to understand English of Northeast, and mostly to understand English of English people. I hope you will understand me. So I am a regional language writer. Some of you will be regional language writers also. I am talking to audience, and most of the guests are regional language writers, I guess. Regional language writers and poets have a very hard time finding audience. First, they struggle for a platform where they can be heard. Then they struggle for publishers who will publish them. They struggle for buyers to buy their books. They struggle for readers to read the books, which eventually they distribute in free. They at times struggle for critiques and wait for a word, a review, a note, something in the name of a critique, so that they can progress. They can change their way of writing, or they can decide what they have to do as poets or as writers. So it has been hard for me also. It has been a struggle to find readers. In my own region, in the region where Kashmiri is a dominant language. So being rewarded in a place which is not, where Kashmiri is not spoken, where I cannot even imagine to have readers, or I did not imagine to have readers in past. Being rewarded at that place is such a big honor for me. It's heartening to say this. I don't know, I may become emotional. I'm sorry. But I think that the things are changing for even regional writers. For even regional language writers, things are changing. Yesterday, when I was coming from airport to hotel, I saw a lot of, mostly the billboards and the signboards were in Tamil language. It was I was so glad to see that. I couldn't read them, of course, but I was so happy to see that all. This is something which can be done by the people who actually wear their language and their culture as a badge of honor. This is something I wish we Kashmiris could learn from you. And we haven't, obviously we haven't. And when we start a narrative around this in Kashmir, they say that because ours is a politically disturbed area, which it is actually. So we have bigger things to focus on. People are struggling for survival. Working for a language, for promotion of it, or for preserving a regional language is the last thing people want to do there. It's not the priority. And also, people there are so desperate to be heard around the world. They want their stories to be heard. So they end up writing in the languages which have greater audience. And English language is the dominant language, which obviously has readers and listeners around the world. So people, young generation usually tends to write in English. So there are very few people like me who end up writing in their regional language, who choose to write in their mother tongue or their regional language. I think people in Kashmir, the young people in Kashmir are obviously succeeding in making their stories heard throughout the world. But we are actually failing at some other front. We are losing at some other front. We are not succeeding in transmitting our culture and our language to the generations we should. We are not able to make our kids know the things we had actually got from our older generations. So this is a loss in a way, which makes people like me who are actually concerned about their language and who are writing, which makes them very concerned. Because obviously at the end of the day, if there will be no people knowing Kashmiri, who will read me? That's the question for people like me. I want to thank the Kalinga Award Committee for choosing me for this honor. I may not be the best person for this award. I don't know what was the merit because of which they selected me, but I know my language deserves applause for surviving the storms. Concluding, I will read a small stanza from a poem in Kashmiri so that you will get a feel of my language. I hope you will not mind.
Please, by all means.
Yeah, and I'll read its translation in English, if you allow me. Okay. So the Kashmiri stanza from a Kashmiri poem it's in Kashmiri, okay. The name of the poem is Pesh Lafz, and it's 4 words in English. Nazm Chan Shur. You may not have heard Kashmiri before. I don't know how I will sound, but I still want to read it. Nazm Chan Shur, Niman Madras, Dapas par Ilf Seet Allah, Mangyam Nabad, Dimas Barfi, Palau Ashdari Kit Sarem, Hariri Jamu Pushravas, Tukun Sat, Yithai Pahras Khandas Rushit, Baras Pitkin Bihit, Wadan Pahra Kirit, Yam Be Khwainmans, Be Yam Khwainmans. It was first stanza of a poem. I will read its translation, English translation. So the poem is 4 words. Poem isn't a child to be enrolled in school and tell it, repeat after me, Alif is for Allah. If it asks for sweets, I will give barfi. Insisting clothes for its doll, I will hand over the garments of paper. And at times, for a moment, after weeping, sullenly behind the door, will come and sit in my lap. Poem is not a friend who I will ask to meet, and she will ado all her business to offer me the advice in light of her experience. When I am beset with some issues, who I will express my agony to, and she will assuage it. With whom I will share my tears, who will follow me willingly when I disclose the discovery of a new way before him. Poem is not a pallid leaf of autumn that I will collect and put on fire to get rid of it, that I will trample under my feet and in return for a second will cry and surrender, and snow will lay over it. Does the spring ever remember where the leaves of book have gone to? Poem is not a curry that I will cook, and after cutting it right and learning and understanding will add sweetness and sourness as per my wish. After frying and adding flavor to it, serve it to consumers in accordance with their tastes. Poem is not a library that whenever I wish, I will enter into it, pick up the book of my whim, fold it, saunter around all the shelves and almirahs, dust off the books and card every cranny of it. Poem is not a daughter that will accept each of your decree unquestionably. Poem is not water that will take the hue of the vessel you put it in. Poem is not a mother that will wait for ages at the threshold and will offer you whatever you wish, even offer you her vision. Poem is a brook. Poem is a brook cascading down from a mountain that doesn't need any guide nor awaits anyone to hold the finger. Poem is life, bows down before the feet of the faithful, comes and goes of its own volition. Thanks.
உன் கடவுளை விட, உன் சாஸ்திரத்தை விட, உன் முன்னோரை விட, உன் வெங்காயம் வழக்கமாத்தை விட உன் அறிவு பெருசு, அதை சிந்தி.